Oh no! We suck again!
Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Game 3 for the Bombers. Close game, much closer game, a lot of improvement. It's funny, I have the pre-intro, oh no, we suck again, but realistically, the Bombers actually had a pretty decent night. They kind of started not on the right note, but there was a lot of good takeaways from this game, but man, 0-3 is not good. It's not ideal. Again, I remind you, 2011 BC Lions 0-5 to start the season. They won the Grey Cup, so but not a good look. But you know what? I'm not going to waste any time. We're going to get right into this, though. And so if I'm looking through here, in the first quarter, Lions push, and at this point, the defense doesn't look too bad. It looks like they're doing all right. However, they're being then almost like right after I wrote that down, a massive pass for Hollins, and he gets a touchdown for BC.
Come on, take him out, boys. What do you got there? Get to him! Oh, no! Oh, shoot.
Adams completes to Alexander Hollins.
Damn it.
Touchdown.
That was bad. Hey, we're one not good.
BC gets themselves a touchdown real early in the game, less than, I think, 3 or 5 minutes into the game. Conversion is good, 7-0 Lions. Bombers offense would then get on the field. They'd screw up a handoff. Again, it's the second time this happened this season. Handoffs, really, really simple play. Caleras and Augustine just not on the right kind of connection at that point, and it was just concerning. And because the very next play, Zach Caleras gets sacked. So, you know, not a good start for the Bombers. It basically looks like the pain and agony from games 1 and 2 is literally just going to continue. And that's how that goes. And then at this point, Terrell Ford, he gets hurt on the play and he goes out. Now, I don't have it written down. Normally, I try to write down when guys get back in. I noticed later that he was back in. But I don't know exactly when he went back in. So Terrell Ford should be okay. It is what it is. Sean White hits the field goal, makes it 10-0 BC to start. Not a good start, Winnipeg. And so this is when I then wrote, wake the F up. Seriously, this is pathetic. Augustine would then get a good run. Strevler would just be absolute money. And the offense would finally start to push a little bit. BC would go offside, and that would kind of wrap up the first quarter. That was where it was at. So 10-0 BC after first, not ideal. Bombers drive continues, though, into the second quarter. They keep pushing, and then Chris Strevler gets his first touchdown of the game.
He's in! Yeah! There we go! Surely he's in. Yeah! Touchdown, Winnipeg! Send the flag! Send it! Where's the plane? Yeah! There we go, big boy! There we go! Alcohol! That's right!
Strevler gets on the board. That would be his first of a few tonight. And I was happy. We were able to really get a bit of offense going and put a drive together to get something done. Conversion is good, 10-7 in favor of the Lions. BC then drives the field again. Sean White hits the 14-yard field goal, 13-7 BC. Now, at this point, I'm thinking, okay, like it's good that we're holding them to some field goals and this and that. BC still hasn't had to punt. They've been able to score points consistently on every drive, being able to at least get into field goal range for Sean White to be able to do his job. Our offense then goes in. They go 2 and out, almost right again. It is what it is, though. Kind of ball would go back and forth, just a little bit of a drive, a little bit of, get some punts here and there. So able to finally get something going against these Lions defensively, at least. Winnipeg would then force a fumble, and we would gain possession. Turnover for the Bombers. Good job. Just really nothing I can complain about there. Just a good hit and being able to then get on that and capitalize. The Bombers would really start pushing the field, and then BC would get a misconduct penalty, and I believe it would go half the distance to goal. Now, there's around 5 seconds left on the clock here. So the Bombers are thinking, we're going to give one more try to get to the end zone or get close, but if we're not able to get it, we're going to get a field goal. Now, the Bombers go, and the clock stops at 1. However, they review this, and apparently, whoever the timekeeper was, doesn't start it afterward, doesn't start the play clock right away. And so it actually should just be 0. And so now the Bombers are then kind of getting screwed out of that. Or I shouldn't even say screwed out of that. They took too long, but it's irritating just in the sense of that, like, you know, I hate to be that guy. Shit, I dropped something. Whoops. Hate to be that guy, but, like, do your damn job. Seriously, like, timekeeping, it's such a, like, that's a crucial spot in the game, and, it's you know, I'm not saying they're screwed the Bombers, it didn't, but it got all our hopes up as a Bomber fan that we could get the field goal there, and a field goal like that would have made a big difference in this game, as you can see by the score right here, right down here, would have made a big difference. But it is what it is. Bombers take too long and not able to get anything. That stings at the 5-second mark. Like, why risk it with our throwing play? I don't agree with that play calling. I think you just take the field goal there. You have like the 5-yard line. Seriously. Third quarter starts. Bombers would get a short drive, and then they punt. BC would really start pushing the field, and then they get themselves their second touchdown of the game.
Get to him. Oh, no.
Correction, that's Hollins with the catch. Damn, from the BC touchdown.
Damn, Andres. Damn. Not a wonderful day.
BC with the touchdown conversion is good, 20-7 in favor of the Lions. And at this point, this is where the Bombers really start to look alive. There'll be a big pass for Nick Dembski. He gets going. He actually gets hurt on this play. Goes out, unfortunately. Schoen would get a big pass, and Wolitarski would get a short pass, and then right afterwards, Dembski would get back in. So glad to see that it wasn't too much and that he was able to get back in. Liam Dobson then takes a procedure penalty. It is what it is. But then there'd be a big pass for Drew Wolitarski and a good run following it.
Yep.
Love Wolitarski. Really, really glad to see him getting some passes this game and being able to do a lot with it. However, another guy that was able to do a lot when he was on the field was Chris Streveler, as he got himself his second touchdown of the game.
Oh yeah, he's in, right?
Streveler having himself a night at the short yardage QB position. He was able to even come in, play some plays where he would do a handoff, sometimes where he would fake the handoff and then run with it. I like this constant switching QB dynamic. Keep that defense guessing. As a guy who, even though I played primarily offense when I did play football, I started actually as a linebacker. And those types of things really screw with you when they're making changes like that. You're like, okay, like what's going on? You're trying to like analyze like things like that. Really, really important. And overall good stuff. Conversion is good. It would now make it 20-14 in favor of the Lions. And then there would be a big Bomber sack by Fiad.
Get him! Yeah!
However, you know, what's better than one? It's two. It's 2 consecutive sacks. That's right. We would then get a second sack in a row. Cole gets himself a sack.
Get to him again! Get to him! Yeah! Yeah! Get him down! Yeah!
great play by the defense there to be able to really put the pressure on BC, as BC gave up a lot of sacks in their game last week against Calgary. So I was glad to see that it wasn't just them that were getting it, and we were able to get some too. There would then be a punt for the Lions. There'd be a big return by Chris Smith. However, there'd be an illegal block on the return. Ball's going back. So it's funny. We talked about, me and Rick actually had a talk about this on one of our Canadian Football Central videos about how there's really not that many great returns this year. And even the ones that there have been, there's been like a block or something like that that brings that ball all the way back. And so it's just, come on, guys. And so this game, at this point, the Bombers start passing that ball like crazy. Left, right, center. Oliveira's finally able to kind of do some damage and get back into form like he was last year and get some yardage. Not quite like the getting like 10, 12 yards on a single run sort of thing, but much better than game one. So I was happy to see that. And then there'd be another big pass for Nick Dembski. Dembski really having himself a pretty good night as we go into the fourth quarter. And then Oliveira with one hell of a run. You know what?
The Oliphant!
Is another Winnipeg
First down!
This is exactly what we need. We need guys like Brady Oliveira, guys like Nick Dembski. You know, we need these guys getting back into form. Another guy that I think had a bit of an underrated night, Evan Holm. We'll get to one of his important plays soon enough, but a good play by him. Now, one thing that's key about this Oliveira play, as he gets a pretty good run, he goes down and the play is over, and it is over for a significant period of time. I'm talking like at least 5 whole seconds. Guys are getting up. It's very obvious it's done. Brady Oliveira, you know, he's kind of at the bottom of the pile. He got tackled and he's trying to get up, and the BC Lions player, I don't know who the hell this was, is still holding on to, like, the play is clearly dead. Everyone around them, it's just those two, have gotten up, and he's holding on to him and still pulling him down. It's like, dude, like, I'm not going to lie, it's childish BS. That's what that is. That's childish and pathetic. And if anyone on the Bombers ever did something like that, I would be embarrassed, because, like, and, you know, and again, I'm making this clear. That kind of stuff, I'm not okay with that if any team's doing that, and I'm including Winnipeg, and I'd be extremely critical if I saw someone like that doing that. Just really, just a really classless play. However, I'm very, very proud to see that Brady Oliveira didn't engage in any of that, didn't engage with that BS. And whoever that guy was on BC, man, he is so lucky he didn't get a flag, because this is a perfect example of a play where most times a player would retaliate and then they would call both of them. And I think if you're really trying to set a precedent and not have those players have those big retaliations, you got to call the play. But it is what it is that they didn't choose to call it. That's fine, because Chris Streveler would then go in and get his 3rd touchdown of the game.
Come on, Chris! Yeah! Let's go! 3 touchdowns for Brady! 3 touchdowns for Brady! Woo! Let's go! We're not Brady, Streveler. Whoops. The Strevy man! Woo!
Streveler, again, having a night, gets himself a touchdown. Conversion is good. 21-20 Winnipeg. First time Bombers lead in the game. And at this point, I'm thinking, like, man, the Bombers, they're looking like they can get this done. I don't know if they're winning this game, but they look great. Like, they're starting to really get back into that form, and which I just wanted desperately from them. And so BC would then start pushing. There would be a big pass for McInnes. They would go down, and BC would go for the touchdown pass, but is denied by Evan Holm. Holm with a massive defensive play. I didn't see enough praise for Holm on that play. Just excellent coverage, making sure he's not taking pass interference, nothing like that. Is able to get in front of it and get that ball out of there. So just a great defensive play by Holm. BC would then kind of set up towards a field goal. There'd be a time count violation on the field goal. So it gets pushed back, and then Sean White hits it from 31 yards after being pushed back and makes this 23-21 for the Lions. And then the Bombers would start going, and what a catch by Nick Dembski behind his head. Are you kidding me? It's funny. I looked over that footage and I realized it doesn't really show well exactly what he does. But essentially this ball's a little bit behind him. And so he gets a hand on it. It goes off the hand onto like his shoulder and it bounces forward. And he just is able to grab that and get hold of it. So just an excellent play by Nick Dembski. Bombers would start to get going. BC would take a roughing the passer penalty. We would get the ball on the 17-yard line. Keep pushing, Bombers. Castillo hits a field goal, makes this 24-23 Winnipeg. And now I'm thinking like, okay, guys, we got to hold on to this. We got to play some great defense. And BC starts pushing again. Sean White hits the 42-yard field goal, making this 26-24 BC. And I'm thinking we finally got to get it. And we start pushing. We have to punt it down. BC will look like we're finally hemming them defensively. However, a huge pass for Hollins puts all of that to shame. And the BC Lions drive their way all the way to the 1-yard line. It's first, I believe it was first down on the 1-yard line. And at that point, there is less than a minute left, and BC doesn't even need the touchdown. They're just going to kill the clock, and the BC Lions defeat the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in a very close game, 26-24. So, what are my takeaways? First off, this sucks. This sucks. I wanted to win so badly. We need a win. We need a win. Seriously, we are right now, the Bombers are struggling, the Ticats are struggling, the Elks are struggling. And the Riders right now are just flying high when it comes to confidence and all that. And I just, you know what? They think our Bombers are out of it. They do. And I understand why they think that. Man, it'd be feel so good to prove that wrong. It really would. You know, this team has it in them. They do. There's no question. Like, as much as there's a lot of guys that we lost, there's a lot of guys still on this team that can make an impact. And even though we didn't win tonight was a massive eye-opening game of how we can absolutely get back to form. We had that slow start. We went down 10-0. We didn't play tight enough defensively at the start. And little things like that killed us. You know, the BC Lions played a pretty complete game, and we played a mostly complete game. And at the end of the day, even though BC has had that first loss against Toronto, and then they were able to come back with a win against Calgary, we have to realize that like BC is a team like they're looking like one of the contenders coming out of the West. Saskatchewan had a hot start. I don't know how long that lasts. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe it goes all season. Maybe, but I'm not as convinced on their structure as with the Lions, and so. When it comes to this game, if we play the way we can against some of these other opponents, we should be able to get it done. And once we do that, we got to roll with that. We got to, acknowledge the things we did well, acknowledge the mistakes we made, and move forward. And that's all we can do. Again, we're 0-3, but, there's no one right now that are 2024 Grey Cup champions. Not a single team has it. As far as I'm concerned, that trophy's still up for grabs. And the Bombers aren't out of a playoff spot in terms of being mathematically eliminated, so we're still in it. It's only 3 games. It's, again, not an ideal start, not a good start, but this is the time to really get it going. So let me know what you guys thought of tonight's game in the comment section down below. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe if you've not already. Check out Canadian Football Central as well for some league-wide coverage. We do our preview and review videos of every single week, along with a bunch of other stuff, player interviews, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, I hope we can turn this around. We got, I think, next week against, I want to say it's Calgary, an away game. We need to win that game. No excuse for not winning that game. Like Calgary, they've had games where they've looked decent. We are a better team. Come on, guys, get it done. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. So peace, love, and positivity, and I'll see you guys next time.